Words are a very powerful thing. Some can make or break you, and in this instance, it completely broke these rappers. Number 5. 21 Savage.
By ICE, the hip-hop artist, who was born in England, was arrested by immigration authorities for overstaying his visa, held for 9 days.
The case that is sweeping the rap world by storm right now is one concerning one of the biggest names in rap right now, 21 Savage. He is currently under arrest for being an illegal immigrant, and ironically, that's very true, for he is one, but just as ironically, despite all the rumors swirling for years that he was an immigrant, many felt that he was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia, especially since he claimed to be from there. Seriously, just about everyone who knew him felt that he was from Georgia, actually, when in fact, he was from the United Kingdom.
I think the policy is broken. I feel like the way that they enforce the policy is broken.
Apparently, his mother took him into the country when he was 7, and she had a work visa, and he got a visa too because of his mother's status, but then when she was supposed to leave, she didn't, and naturally 21 Savage didn't go either. So he has now been arrested for his crime of being an illegal immigrant. But did he sing about it? Technically, yeah, he did. Singing about the illegal immigration and ICE and children that are currently being held at the border on a live performance for a lot, where he sang a special verse in it. This didn't sit well with ICE. Within a week, he was detained. There are many different ironies to this whole situation outside of 21 Savage singing about his legality, and one that is questioning the legality of the arrest itself, as some are claiming that ICE, basically the immigration police, used false pretense to arrest 21 Savage, and then tacked on the illegal immigration charge later on.
And I was gone.
They tell you you're under arrest?
Nah, they didn't say nothing. They just said we got Savage.
Plus, Georgia is not known to be nice to immigrants. Georgia has been the forefront of the anti-immigration crackdown, says Azadeh Shashashani, who spent 7 years as a National Security and Immigrants' Right Project Director for the ACLU of Georgia. Georgia is on a whole nother scale when it comes to devising new ways to punish immigrants. There's also the fact that there are details in the case that are strangely different depending on which side of the issue you're on. I noted before how 21 Savage and his mother came into the country, yet ICE is convinced that he came in during his teen years, which is a big difference in fact. Regardless of which one is real, the lawyer team for 21 Savage also states that he applied for visas in the past to extend his stay and that he was in an appeal process for one. It's all very confusing and very conflicting, and it's going to make this case a very drawn out one in the worst possible way. The fate of 21 Savage seems certain, but there are some potential tricks up his sleeve that could help him solve this predicament. Either way, it's going to be a rough time for 21 Savage until he gets this figured out. Number 4, 6ix9ine.
Criminal activity or crime, all 9 counts are out the window.
From one rapper who's in jail for being an illegal immigrant to one who's in jail for a whole lot worse, 6ix9ine has never been shy. Yeah, like ever, in regards to him singing about whatever he wanted. And that was part of his style, and it didn't really matter if he wanted to make a diss track, or if it was a regular rapper, or a mixtape song, he always said what he was and what he wanted to be. So that's one of the reasons why he got in trouble with the law, and one of the many reasons depending on how you look at it. In November of 2018, 6ix9ine was arrested on numerous counts, including racketeering, trafficking, conspiracy, and much more. Due to the severity of these acts, he could potentially spend anywhere from 47 years in prison to life in prison. So how does this connect to his songs? Well, one thing for certain is that 6ix9ine loved to sing about his connections, mainly the ones that he's a part of a certain group in New York that gave him power. Though ironically, no one was really sure whether he was really a part of this group or not. So then in early of February, 6ix9ine pleaded guilty to several of the federal charges lobbied against him. And this was part of admitting that he was part of the Trey Nines and was doing things for both them and on their orders. 6ix9ine has often sung about his connections to the Trey Nines, which put him on the radar for numerous reasons, and that was the correct move. He confessed to not just getting and selling illegal firearms and substances for the group, but putting out hits on others and almost carrying out one himself. Ironically, this actually puts him in a lot of danger with the Trey Nines, and other groups for sure, and many rappers who have similar affiliations that have noted that being a snitch doesn't really end well for the guy like 6ix9ine, if you get my drift. Plus, due to the terms of an apparent plea deal that 6ix9ine took, he's now going to be working with the authorities to help catch members of the group that he once proudly sang about in his songs. Is it a bit too soon to say poetic justice? Because it certainly feels that way in terms of the mood. Either way though, 6ix9ine honestly only has himself to blame for his current situation, both in terms of his songs and getting exposed, and his actions to live up to those lyrics, because both of them got him caught. Number 3, Bobby Shmurda.
You know, gang, gang, you understand? Well, we be home 2 years, early 2020. Yeah, you know.
Get ready for the mixtape.
Arguably, one of the most tragic cases of a rapper going to jail because of his lyrics is that of Bobby Shmurda, a young rapper from Brooklyn who made his fame off the back of a mega hit song, Hot N. It was that song that got him in trouble, and even if he technically wasn't in trouble himself per se. Shmurda grew up in a tough part of New York, and to help escape it, he formed a group of brothers called the GS9. But in his own words, they weren't a gang, they were just friends, but the cops didn't see it that way and always kept tabs on him and his crew, especially after Hot N came out. After all, one of the big lyrics of the song was, "I'm with the trigger, I'm with Russia, I'm with A-Rod. Broad daylight, we gonna let them things bark. Tell 'em free Mishi, some way, free Breezy. Tell my Shmurda teaming. Mitch got a body about a week ago." To the police, that sounded like an admission of what was going on. The Brooklyn South Violence Reduction Task Force that made the arrest said in a press conference his song and video were almost like a real-life document of what they were doing on the street. Eventually, before Christmas of 2014, Shmurda and his crew were arrested for various charges including possession, conspiracy, and much more. And when they caught Shmurda, they played his song to taunt him. The day they locked me up, Pollard tells me, they said, "We are tired of our kids listening to your music." He said it to my face, laughing. One of the oddest things about the entire case was that after he was arrested, he was given a $2 million bail, which was well out of the range for both him and his record label. And it was odd for many that the charges he was given resulted in that specific bail number. There's people with 10 murders that got $500,000 bail. And I'm not even on attempted murder. He denies that being a rapper in GS9 means that he hurt anyone, or sanctioned the hurting of someone or anything like that. I'm guilty for where I live. I was never a part of no gang. That's because of the neighborhood. Pollard says, then hedges in the way show how elastic the term has become. You don't even have to be in a gang to be in a gang. You can just probably grow up in the neighborhood, you're part of a gang already. But it wasn't just the bail amount that Shmurda was mad at, it was everyone involved with his arrest. If we made bail, we would have beaten the case, he said. We look guilty in these orange jumpsuits. If we put Al Sharpton in an orange jumpsuit and accuse him of having a gun, he's going to be found guilty. They just look at our skin color and look at where we're from. I didn't get caught with anything on me, and the cops lied, saying they see me with a gun in my hand. I explained the whole situation to Epic, and they were behind me all the way. We had big money lawyers, and they still couldn't do anything because of the judge, who looked at us as black thugs. In 2016, Shmurda took a plea deal and pled guilty to certain charges, getting his 6 years in jail. But he made sure to make it known that he wasn't taking it willingly. I was forced to take this sentence. I did not want to take this sentence, Shmurda told the court. I was forced by my attorney to take this plea. Shmurda also admitted that he took this hit in regards to sentencing because it would get one of his fellow GS9 members a smaller sentence. Number 2, NFL Cartel, Bo Brown, and Maxo Cream.
Long investigation. The problem, their cast was made up of gang members using real guns, loaded guns.
To be clear, these two weren't technically arrested because of their lyrics, but rather because of their music video, which was obviously set to the lyrics of a song. Let's rewind a bit. In early 2018, rapper NFL Cartel Bo Brown and Maxo Cream released a music video for the song called Hoova. And it was during the filming of that video that things went really wrong. Because according to the police, a lot of people in the music video were actually using very real guns. And when the police arrived to ensure that the situation didn't get out of hand, the members of the video saw them and dropped the guns and ran. The guns themselves were then examined and found to be illegal. Furthermore, the people who had the guns were part of various groups in the area, if you get my drift. Ironically, the police used the music video itself to identify who had the guns and who to look over. Again, different than using lyrics, but it's still along the same line. Just as ironic, Maxo Cream wasn't one of the people tracked down, but Bo Brown was. And he went on the run because of the incident and him cutting an ankle monitor early on. It just goes to show you that you need to be more careful who you put in your own music videos. Number 1, Rated R.
While in the front seat of their unmarked car, Garofis resentenced Wilson to consecutive life terms.
Many of these rappers that I've talked about may or may have not have been arrested because of their lyrics, for it's all subjective. But when it comes to Ronald Wilson, aka Rated R, he most definitely was arrested because of his lyrics that came out after a crime that he even committed. You see, Rated R wasn't just a rapper, he was a dealer in the underground, specializing in illegal firearms. The police got wise to him and put out a sting operation to try and get him and anyone else he was dealing with. But unfortunately, the deal went south when Rated R decided not to pay for the firearms that they were offering. Instead of just taking them, he took out the officers.
A federal death row inmate who gunned down 2 New York City police officers in 2003 has his death sentence overturned.
Given the nature of the crime, you have to wonder what evidence they had that he took those officers' lives. Well, given that this was a police operation, he was later arrested on suspicion, and when they searched him, Rated R had lyrics in his pockets describing the deed itself. He did intend to make a song out of the act that he had just committed. So in this case, he was literally put on death row because of those lyrics, as they were truly entered as evidence. And so there you have it. Some rappers got in trouble because of their own lyrics. Can you believe what happened to some of these folks? Also, do you think that the song lyrics should be taken as evidence of a crime? Do you think it's relevant enough? And lastly, do you know any other rappers or singers that have gotten into similar troubles? Let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe and I'll see you next time on King Trending. Hey, just a reminder that we're changing up the giveaways. From now on, we're offering the Galaxy Note 9, the one that comes with the exclusive Fortnite skin, the new iPhone X Max, which we'll pre-order for you, and the new Apple Watch Series 4, which we'll also pre-order for you. The winner gets to decide between these three. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, drop a like, and comment the hidden message in the video for a chance to win. You got nothing to lose. Go for it.